Skateboarding superstar Leticia Bufoni is a 6-time X Games gold medalist, the most by any female athlete. She's also a world champion and Olympian. The Brazilian was the first woman signed to the Nike SB brand and, with over 4 million followers on social media, is one of the most powerful females in sport. Herway was lucky enough to sit down for a chat with Leticia on her recent trip to Australia. Well, first of all, just welcome back to Australia. Do you have good memories here since you won an X Games gold medal a little while ago?
Yeah, it's my third time in Australia, and
Sorry, silver medal I meant to say.
yeah, I got silver at X Games here in Sydney in 2018. Had a great time. It was one of the first times that they had X Games at night, that I competed at night, and it was just amazing. And after that X Games, I just took a car from Sydney all the way to Brisbane.
Oh, wow.
And we surfed, we skate, we went to like a bunch of like restaurants, and I had a great time. And this trip is gonna be kind of quick. I'm only here for 4 days. I leave on Sunday already. But I was just stoked that I made it down. I thought I was not gonna make it. But yeah, I always love to come to Australia. It's always really fun.
Yeah, well, it's super cool you're here, and I find your story really inspiring and encouraging because when you started skateboarding, a lot of people told you that you shouldn't, including your dad. Why is that so important to you to, I guess, prove people wrong?
You know, I started skating because I had no one to play soccer with, and I just was by myself. All the boys, I was the only girl, and all the boys was playing soccer, and I was like, just, playing soccer with them, and then all of them stopped skating. I stopped playing soccer and started skating, and I had no one to play soccer with. And I was like, you know what? I just want to try to skate so I can like be with the boys, and try skateboarding for the first time. Fell in love with it, and struggled really hard at home because my dad didn't like it at all. But the reason that he didn't like that I was skating because I was the only girl, not because he didn't like skateboarding. He didn't know anything about skateboarding. That was like 20 years ago. It wasn't, on social media. It wasn't on TV all the time. So it was really hard to convince my dad that, girls can skate too. So after a while, just trying, my dad just got really mad at me because I wouldn't give up, and he cut my board in half. And, I thought it was going to be the end for me. And then the next day I set up a new board, and when my dad saw me skating again, he was like, wow, there's nothing I can do, you're not going to stop. So since that day, he just started supporting me.
Yeah, that's so cool. And when you first joined the skate tour, what was it like for you and all of the other female skaters, like compared to the men's?
I went to my first contest, my first women's contest. I was 11, and it was the first time ever that I was seeing other girls skate too. I just thought I was the only girl. And then I went to my first competition, met a bunch of girls, and I'm like, this is really cool. Like, girls can really skate. And then I fell in love even more. And I won my first competition, and I got really excited and just started skating every day and training, and moved to the U.S. from Brazil when I was 14. And then I met all the girls that I used to see in videos, like on Tony Hawk, and I'm like, this is so cool. Like, this is the dream.
Oh, wow.
I'm skating with the best skateboarders in the world, and I want to be like them. I want to be good one day, and I want to be able to be that girl that if a girl wants to skate, they can just show their dad, like, hey, dad, I want to skate. Here's this girl that she's a female and she's really good at skating, and she can also be a girl, So that was my whole goal, to inspire more people into skateboarding, and especially the parents.
Yeah, and what was it? Because all of those women fought for equal prize money in 2005, so it must have been cool to be with other people who kind of believed in what you believed in, and that you could all support each other.
Yeah, exactly. We all support each other, and not just in skateboarding, but in any sport. I think we work as hard as the guys work, and why not have equal pay, and why not have equal contests? And I feel like nowadays we got to a point that a lot of stuff still needs to change, but women's skateboarding is growing really fast.
Yeah, definitely. And what are your first memories of your first X Games gold medal? Do you still remember how you felt?
I do. My first X Games gold medal was in Brazil, my hometown. So it was just after a surgery, ankle surgery, and I was supposed to not do that X Games because I was just fresh off the surgery. And I decided to do it because it was in my hometown for the first time ever. And my goal was just to do the contest, and I wasn't really planning for a medal because I wasn't skating for a month and a half, and my surgery was just 32 days before the actual competition. And when I started skating, I just, something happened that I just clicked. And I was like, I couldn't remember that I had a surgery. I just started skating, started landing all my tricks, and I just got really hyped that I was skating in front of my home crowd, and I was just stoked. And I was like, let's do this, and end up landing my whole run, stuff that I didn't even plan it to do it in the practice, and then I just got too excited and landed my whole run and won my first medal.
That's so cool that you could do it in front of like all of your friends and family as well.
Yeah, it was definitely like one of the best contests in my life because I was not planning to. I was just really nervous. I just had a surgery. I was not supposed to be skating, and everything turned out amazing.
And as you, I guess, started to become more successful, and after that, how did you decide the ways that you wanted to use that platform that you had?
I always, use my platform to just try to be close to the fans. I don't get to see people all the time. Like, we get to do tours like this, like the drop-in tour, that we can actually go out, meet the fans, and, skate in front of them. But not everyone has the opportunity to see us. So my goal in my platform is just, show my fans my lifestyle, what do I do, where I skate, like how much I work for, like for everything I have. And I just, I'm like really easygoing. I just post whatever it's in my mind, whatever it's happening. Like I post about my family, my dogs, and I try to show as much as I can, and just to inspire more people to skate and to do sports and, live a healthy life.
Yeah, okay. And you've got a pretty big list of achievements as well. You've won the most X Games gold medals by a female. You're a world champion and an Olympian too. And you're on the most powerful women in sports list, and you even own a range of Nike shoes. But you give so much back to just younger skaters and also the people like in Brazil and your friends and family. What kind of helps you to stay humble?
I come from a really ground family. And, my family is my inspiration, and everything that I have, it's because I had always had my family behind my back. And also, like, my whole team, like all my sponsors, the way that, they helped me so much to be where I am today. So I'm really thankful with the whole team, the fans and everything. So I just try my best to stay humble and, try to show the world that anything's possible.
Yeah, and when you were younger, I imagine there weren't too many female role models that you could have had. Which female athletes nowadays, and also just other women, inspire you, and why?
I had like female athletes that I used to look up to when I was younger, like Marta, the football player. I'm really into soccer. I used to play football when I was younger, and those was my inspiration back then. But I didn't have anyone in skateboarding until I went to the States, and I met Vanessa Torres, Amy, and like Elisa Seamer, and then I was like, oh my God, I want to be like them, And nowadays, there's a lot of young athletes that I look up to, like Sky Brown, like Raisa, Chloe, and it's amazing to see how good they're doing in such a young age, and I just inspire me every day to keep going, knowing that they also look up to me. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and on social media I see all of the special friendships you have with the girls like Sky and Raisa, which is really cool, and I know that Raisa calls you mom sometimes. Why do you think it's so important for those younger skaters to have an older female mentor like you?
It's funny because I met Raisa, she was really young. She was like, now she's like bigger than me. She's like way taller than me now. But when I met her, she was only I think 6 or 7. And, we met and it was amazing. She was like crying, and then we didn't see each other for a couple years. And then out of nowhere, she just got really good and she started coming to all the contests. But then I wasn't so close to her because I was, living in the US, she was living in Brazil. And just right before the Olympics, we started doing all the contests together and we got really close. And, for a lot of times, her mom is not around, and I was like the oldest around the little ones. And I'm always like watching for them and like, telling them what to do, how to do it. And especially like in the Olympics, she wasn't with her mom. And I was really close to her at the moment. And I was just trying my best to be, a good role model and like telling her what to do and, just give her the support that she didn't have there. And it was amazing because we just got really close, and I ended up being her mom in the whole like Olympic series. It was just amazing to, have a little girl that is so good and she listened to me. So it was just cool to be there for her when she needed.
Yeah, it's so cool that you've built these relationships with all of these younger skaters. But what do you love about also being a role model for other just women and girls around the world?
Man, I feel that I'm blessed to be in that position, and my goal is to just keep inspiring more people into sports, and not only girls but guys too. So it gets hard sometimes because you got to do everything right, no mistakes. And it's just amazing, to be in that position and be able to see that a lot of people start skating or started doing sports because of me. And my goal in life to keep doing that, keep everything on track, and just be a good role model.
Yeah, and I saw this quote from you as well, and you said, visibility is what's lacking because the girls are really good. There's no lack of quality. What do you think needs to happen to make them more visible?
I feel like it's changing a lot. It got way better from back then, but I feel there's more stuff that can happen that will give women's more availability and, more like, more sponsors and more events and, after the Olympics, it definitely changed a lot, but I still think it needs to get better, because the skating level, it's getting better and better every day.
Yeah.
And of course, the guys are like way better than the girls, but they work as hard as them. So why not give them more availability,
Yeah, definitely. And after the Olympics, I was actually really inspired to go and buy a skateboard myself. So it must be really cool for you that you've been able to kind of see it change and see the women get more equality over time.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how, like, especially in Brazil, how women's skateboarding got so big after the Olympics. Like, it changed like crazy. It was really big in Brazil because it was showing everywhere in Brazil, and there was Raisa that got a medal, so people like really connect with that. And after the Olympics, I just met a lot of people that said they start skating because they watch us skating the Olympics. Like you, like after the Olympics, you bought a board, and it's amazing to like see that somehow we're like part of all that.
Yeah, and I noticed also during those Olympics just how much all the female skaters seemed to just be so supportive of each other, and they were all such great friends. Why do you think the skaters have such a great culture?
I feel like skateboarding is like a lifestyle, and I hate skating by myself, and it's just a different sport. Like you don't want to like skate by yourself. You don't want to do it for you. You want to like be with friends. You want to do it tricks, and you want to like help your friends and like give them tips, and it's just a big family. And everywhere we go, we're gonna meet skaters, and it's gonna be like we knew each other for years and years because there's not really that competition.
Yeah.
Where everyone it's like rooting for each other, and even though sometimes we're competing for the same goal, but we're still friends. We still celebrate together. We still train together. Like it's not that we're like other sports, like people don't talk and they don't celebrate. We're different. We just love each other. We love skating with each other, and we love celebrating.
Yeah, and I noticed after the SLS when Chloe Cavell won, although Raisa must have been pretty disappointed, they were still all getting along, and she was so happy for her, so that was really cool to see. And I mentioned before that you've achieved a lot, but out of everything you've achieved so far, is there one thing that you're most proud of?
I think what I'm most proud of it's just being a good role model for the young generation.
Yeah. And you've done so much. What big goals or dreams do you still have?
My goal is to keep skating. I love skating. I love doing stuff like this, like do a world tour and be able to do demos and like meet the local skaters. And I really love shooting projects, like coming up with like crazy ideas and doing something that it's never been done before. That's definitely like my focus in the next few years. I haven't been competing that much anymore, and I've been taking time off from the competitions, but I still skate every day. I still travel all the time, and I just want to keep doing that.
And just finally, if there's a young woman or girl out there that's hearing this and she has a dream but wonders if it's worth trying, what would you say to her?
What I always say is just follow your dream, follow your passion. Don't let anyone say that you can't do it. Just prove them wrong and do it.
To support Her Way, visit the link in the description section.